Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yes, sir. Available, sir.
Okay, you can start. No problem.
Yes, sir. So the first question is which one of the following is not a necessary assumption for the air standard Otto cycle? So for an standard Otto cycle, all the processes are internally and externally reversible. The second option is intake and exhaust process are constant volume heat rejection process. The intake process for an air standard Otto cycle is constant pressure. It's not constant volume process. So the second option is not a necessary assumption. Why? Sir, once I'm sharing the whiteboard there for them.
Okay, go to the second question. Huh?
But actually, I'm sharing a whiteboard, sir.
Okay.
Like graph.
Okay, not necessary. You go to the
Okay,
answer.
okay, sir. Okay,
What is
sir.
there?
Sir, once share the screen, sir.
Okay. Okay, go to the second question. Go ahead.
Sir.
Go to the question and
Which
answer.
Sir, please start recording, sir.
Huh? Stop recording, huh? Okay. Hello? Everyone?
yes, sir, available, sir.
Go to the second question. Go fast.
Which gas power cycle consists of 4 processes during which the work alone is transferred and heat alone is transferred during the other 2 processes? It's in Carnot cycle. Carnot is an ideal cycle where we have 2 reversible isentropic process and 2 reversible isothermal process. So during isentropic and isothermal process, we have only work transfer and heat transfer. The third question is, I'm unable to see third question. So once scroll.
Okay, see the third question.
For maximum specific output of a constant volume cycle. Constant volume cycle is an Otto cycle. For specific output, if you look at the PV diagram or TS diagram, when you look at it, when the temperature of the working fluid at the end of compression and at the end of expansion, when they both are equal, then you have a maximum specific output in case of Otto cycle.
Go to the fourth question.
For the same maximum pressure and heat input, the most efficiency is, like I have shown you the TS diagram and PV diagram below. So most of the problems are based on this only for maximum pressure and heat input. So process 1, 2, 3 and 4. Process 1, 2, 3 and 4 are for Otto cycle, and process 1, 2 dash, 3 dash and 4 dash are for diesel cycle. So when you look at the TS diagram, the heat rejection for the maximum pressure and heat input, the heat rejection by Otto cycle is more compared to the diesel cycle. So diesel cycle has less heat rejection. So when you look at the efficiency formula, efficiency is 1 minus Q heat rejection by heat supply. So when heat rejection is less, then efficiency will be more. So obviously the diesel cycle has a more efficiency for maximum pressure and heat rejection.
Fifth question.
Coming to the fifth question, consider the following statements. For a diesel cycle, the thermal efficiency decreases as a cutoff ratio increases. When you look at the efficiency formula of a diesel cycle, it's a function of compression ratio and cutoff ratio. So as the cutoff ratio increases, the thermal efficiency of diesel cycle decreases. And in a petrol engine, the high voltage for spark is in the order of 1000 watts. It's wrong. Only the first option is satisfied. Fifth question, for the same maximum pressure and heat input. Again, coming to the third problem, TSPV diagrams. From the diagram, again, when you see it for maximum pressure and heat input, for maximum pressure and heat input, when you look at it, heat rejection by Otto cycle will be more than heat rejection by diesel cycle. When you plot the TS graphs, the area under the graph of TS will give you the heat rejection and heat supplied. When you look at it for the maximum pressure and heat input, the heat rejection by Otto cycle will be more than heat rejection by diesel cycle. Therefore, the efficiency for this will be more. Sixth also same. So sixth for the maximum pressure and temperature. So this is all for maximum pressure and temperature. This is all for Otto and diesel cycle. If you plot it on a TS and PV diagram, the area under the diagram will give you the heat rejection and heat supplied. So based on if heat rejection is more, then the efficiency will be less. If heat supplied is more, then the efficiency will be more. Or that from the diagram we can plot. In case of diesel engine, increase in the cutoff ratio will increase mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is directly proportional. It's a function of cutoff ratio. Efficiency is inverse proportional. Like if cutoff ratio increases, efficiency decreases, but the mean effective pressure will increase. Coming to 8th question. For the air standard efficiency of diesel cycle will be less than Otto cycle in case of for compression ratio and heat input. For same compression ratio, whenever there is a compression ratio term for same compression ratio, obviously the diesel cycle efficiency will be more than Otto cycle. Diesel cycle will be less than Otto cycle, sorry. Except compression ratio, everywhere diesel cycle will be more. And dual cycle will lie in between Otto and diesel cycle. The efficiency of dual cycle will always lie between Otto and diesel cycle. So coming to the 9th question, for the same compression ratio and heat input. See, whenever there is a same compression ratio term, when compression ratio comes, obviously Otto cycle efficiency will be more. Otto cycle followed by dual, then followed by diesel. Tenth one, Otto cycle efficiency is higher than diesel cycle efficiency for the same compression ratio and heat input, because when you look at the plot of TS diagram, for the maximum pressure and heat input, the heat rejection by the Otto cycle will be lower than the diesel cycle. Because of that lower heat rejection only, efficiency of Otto cycle will be less than diesel cycle. 11th question. So once scroll up, sir. 11th question.
Okay. Knocking tendency
in an SI engine reduces with increasing. Knocking tendency, as you know, knocking is caused because of the self-ignition of the leftover petrol in the cylinder. After exhaustion, the remaining amount of fuel which is left in the cylinder, because of the compression, its temperature increases. Because of the temperature increase, there will be a self-ignition. Because of that, knocking tendency is found in SI engines. So supercharging increases the knocking tendency. Knocking tendency, the temperature increases beyond ignition temperature. So only with an increase in engine speed, knocking reduces. 12th one. An IC engine has a bore and stroke of 2 units each. The area to calculate the heat loss can be taken as. So heat loss in an IC engine take place along the cylinder, top and bottom of the cylinder, and along the surface area of the cylinder. So when you take top and bottom of the cylinder, it will be pi by 4 d square. So 2 times of, because top and bottom, and along the surface 2 pi RL. Using this surface area 2 pi RL plus 2 into pi by 4 d square. When you calculate, when you put d and L, both are 2 units. Bore is diameter, which is 2, and stroke is length, which is 2 units. When you substitute this in the formula, you will be getting answer as 6 pi. Coming to 13th question. For a conventional SI engine, what is the value of fuel air ratio in the normal operating range? I have given the question as fuel air ratio. Actually, most of the time we know air fuel ratio. So air fuel ratio for maximum fuel economy is 12, and for maximum power and fuel economy is 12 and 18. So inverse of that, 1 by 12 and 1 by 18 will give you 0.056 and 0.083. Just the inverse of air fuel ratio is fuel air ratio. Coming to 14th question. Velocity of flame propagation in SI engine is maximum for a fuel air mixture, which is flame propagation is nothing but the flame after ignition, the flame, how it is spreading throughout the cylinder. So when you observe a graph, there is a graph between the equivalent ratio and the time for combustion. If you look at the graph now, when the fuel is slightly richer, a 10% richer, you will be having a maximum flame propagation. If you increase more equivalence ratio, if fuel becomes more richer, then again the flame propagation decreases. Only at a certain slight rich mixture, that is 10% mix richer. If it's more than 10 or 20%, again the flame propagation decreases. If it's less than the equivalent ratio, also the flame propagation decreases. So only at 10% of mixture, the flame propagation increases. By higher octane number of SI fuel, it means that the fuel has. Yeah, the fuel of SI engine, we generally look at the octane number, and for diesel, cetane number. So octane number is a combination of octane and heptane. So when octane is 100%, then knocking tendency is reduced. So higher octane number means lower ignition delay. Yeah, because the self-ignition temperature will be less for a higher octane number, so that the knocking tendency decreases. Knocking will not happen. That's why the longer ignition delay will be there, maintained to reduce the knocking for higher octane number fuels. Next, 16th question. Which of the following factors increase detonation in the SI engine? Increasing spark advance, increase the speed. See, increase in spark advance obviously will increase the detonation, because knocking is what? Self-ignition of the fuel. So when you increase spark is advanced, the fuel may ignite early, and there may cause knocking. Increasing speed, engine speed, when engine speed is high, there are less chances of happening knocking. When compression ratio is high, when you increase the compression ratio, the volume will be compressed and the pressure increases. When pressure increases, the self-ignition temperature increases. Thereby, there are high chances of happening knocking in the SI engine. Therefore, the increase in spark advance and increase in compression ratio, these are the two options which will increase the knocking in the SI engines. Coming to 17th question. Yes, thank you, sir. Consider the following statements. In SI engines, detonation occurred near the end of the combustion, whereas CI engines, knocking occurs near the beginning of the combustion. And next is, in SI engines, no problems are encountered on account of pre-ignition. Second option is wrong. Low inlet pressure and temperature reduces knocking in CI engines, but increases knocking tendency in SI engines. Yes, low inlet pressure and temperature will reduce the fuel self-ignition temperature. That is one of the reasons for reducing knocking. Third option. So 1 and 3. Coming to 18th. The tendency of petrol to detonate in terms of octane number is determined by comparison of fuel with which of the following? Yes, octane number is a combination of normal heptane and isooctane. Normal heptane is C7 and C7H16. It's a hydrocarbon, C7H16. And octane is C8H18. So when octane percentage is high, 100, then there is no knocking. When normal heptane is 100, there is octane. There is knocking tendency, more knocking tendency. So octane number is a combination of these two. So generally, fuel is compared by the mixture of normal heptane and isooctane. Coming to 19th one. Consider the following statements. In order to prevent detonation in a spark ignition engine, the charge away from the spark plug should be. Yes, the spark away from the spark plug should have low temperature. If it's at low temperature, then the self-ignition temperature, to attain the self-ignition temperature, it will take some time. So the knocking tendency will be reduced. Knocking or detonation is same. So low temperature is one option, low density, and long ignition delay. Because of that ignition delay only, there are chances of having less knocking. So option D, all three are correct. 28th question. For minimizing knocking tendency in SI engine, where should the spark plug be located? It should be located away from the both valves. Actually, even the exhaust valve should be somewhere near to the spark plug, because if exhaust valve is more away from the spark plug, if the temperature of the leftover fluid is high, there are chances of becoming knocking. So if exhaust valve is near to the spark plug, the flame propagation will be very fast to that, so it will avoid knocking. So it should be away. It should be somewhat away from the inlet wall, but not much away from the exhaust wall. 21st. Which of the following actions increases the knocking tendency in SI engine? Knocking tendency because of compression ratio and reducing engine speed. When your when your compression ratio is increased, the volume will be compressed, pressure increases. With increase in pressure, temperature increases. With increase in temperature, it may attain self-ignition. Because of the self-ignition, there may be a chances of knocking and reducing engine speed. Both are the options correct. So C option is correct for 21. 22. In spark ignition engine, knocking can be reduced by retarding the spark advance. If spark advance reduces tendency of knocking because burning gases are not compressed, so less rising temperature at the end of charge. Knocking majorly happens because of increase in temperature in the cylinder. When temperature in the cylinder increases, the self-ignition temperature, the fuel attains the self-ignition temperature. Consider the following statements. Knocking in the SI engine can be reduced by supercharging. Supercharging is mostly for CI engines, it's not for SI engines. Because of supercharging, there will be an increase in temperature. Because of that increase in temperature, again, there may be a tendency of knocking. So directly we can eliminate supercharging. Supercharging is used for mainly for CI engines, not for SI engines. Retarding the spark is one option. Using a fuel of long straight chain structure. Long straight chains again the hydrocarbon it comes with the hydrocarbon structure. So the only two options is retarding the spark and increasing the engine speed. These two options satisfy for reducing the knocking. These all questions are based on the factors. These are the factors affecting the knocking in SI and CI engines. 24th question. Consider the following statements. Detonation in SI engine can be suppressed, means reduced, by retarding the spark timing, increasing the engine speed, using 10% rich mixture. All the three options are satisfying. When spark is advanced, the burning gas is compressed by rising piston, and therefore the temperature is increased. So knocking tendency increases. Therefore, the spark should be retarded. It should not be advanced. And increasing engine speed. When engine speed is increased, there is less time for the fuel to happen knocking. When engine speed is very less, there will be more time for the fuel to ignite. When engine speed is increased, it will have very less time for the self-ignition temperature. Therefore, engine speed should be increased. And using 10% rich mixture also. The flame speed is maximum. Hence, the charge is consumed before its delay period. Coming to 25th question. Which of the following features are used in combustion chamber design to reduce the SI engines? Yes. When spark plug, as I said before, when spark plug is located near the exhaust wall, then see most of the leftover gases after combustion there will be some 10 to 15% of the leftover fuel. That fuel will be at the bottom and near to the exhaust wall. So when spark plug is located near to the exhaust wall, there are less chances of happening detonation. So wedge-shaped combustion chamber and short flame distance travel is the option. Coming to 26th question. Which of the following combustion chamber design feature reduces knocking in SI engine? Before saying the following question, 25th question is that discussed. Wedge-shaped combustion chamber and short flame travel distance. When flame travels for the very short distance, the flame propagation speed will be very high. When there is very high flame propagation speed, there will be less time for self-ignition of the fuel. So option C is correct. Third and fourth options, wedge-shaped combustion chamber and short flame travel distance. 27th question. For same power output and same compression ratio as compared to two-stroke engine, four-stroke engine has higher thermal efficiency. So when you look at the graphs for two-stroke and four-stroke engine, efficiency is work done by heat supply. So four-stroke engine has more work supplied, therefore it has higher thermal efficiency. 28th question. The delay period in CI engine depends on which of the following. See, the delay period in CI engine is mostly because of two things: physical delay and chemical delay. Physical delay is because in CI engines we are not mixing air fuel before. We are supplying first air and then fuel is injected. When fuel is injected, it is injected in the form of atomizations. Because of that atomization, it has to vaporize first. Because it's happening vaporized. Because of that vaporized, there will be some delay in physical delay. Then it has to mix with the air, and then it has to be combustion. There will be a combustion delay. So these two delays will happen in the CI engine, and this delay period is very small. It is up to 0.001 second. So 28th question only, sir. So all the four options are correct. Temperature and pressure in the cylinder at the time of injection, nature of the fuel strength. So once scroll up. So 28th question only, sir. I'm unable to down scroll.
Okay, continue.
29th one, sir. No.
28 is over, huh?
28th is over, sir. The delay period is because of the knocking tendency in
Go to 29.
Sir. 29, sir. So knocking tendency in compression in CI engines increases with. So decreasing like when you decrease in compression ratio, when compression ratio is decreased, the pressure will be less comparatively. Therefore, the temperature will be less. So when there is less temperature in CI engines, the combustion is taking place because of the fuel attaining self-ignition temperature. So for CI engines, when compression ratio is high only, there will be self-ignition temperature easily. It attains easily. Whereas for knocking for SI engines, the compression ratio should be less, and for CI engines, the compression ratio should be high. When compression ratio is high in CI engines, it attains easily the self-ignition temperature. Therefore, so when you decrease the compression ratio, the knocking tendency in CI engines increases. So that is the only option which satisfies. Coming to 30th question.
Yes, carry on.
Sir? Sir. Which of the following factors would increase the probability of knocking CI engines? Again, for SI and CI engines are almost different. Like in SI engine, compression ratio should be less. In CI engine, compression ratio should be high. In SI engine, there should be no ignition delay. Here, there should be a long ignition delay. Factors which increase the probability of long. Because of long ignition delay of the fuel, there will be knocking in CI engines. And high self-ignition temperature. SI engines, the fuel should be having high self-ignition temperature, but for CI engines, the fuel should have low self-ignition temperature. Because of the low self-ignition temperature, it will self-ignite easily. So it should have low self-ignition temperature to avoid knocking. But here the option is high self-ignition temperature. So because of high self-ignition temperature, there is a probability of knocking and low volatility of the fuel. So all the three options will increase the probability of knocking CI engines. So option A is correct. Coming to 31 question. Consider the following measures. Increasing the compression ratio, increasing the intake air temperature, increasing the length to diameter of the cylinder, increasing the engine speed. The measure necessary to reduce the tendency to knock in CI engines. Again, so to reduce the knock tendency, compression ratio should be high. As I said before only, because of high compression ratio, the fuel will ignite very early for CI engines. And increasing the air temperature also, because when air temperature is high also, it will attain easily the self-ignition temperature. And increasing the engine speed. These are increasing the engine speed. It will fourth option is wrong option, because increasing the engine speed, there will be less time for the CI engines to ignite. So the engine speed should be less in case of CI engines. So except for remaining three are correct. 32nd question. The object of providing masked inlet valve in the air passage of CI engines is to. Why we are providing masked inlet valve for CI engines is to enhance the flow rate. See, we should have primary spill in the or index spill in the engine. So it's because it's done by two methods: by careful formation of air intake passage, by masking or shouting a portion of the circumferences in the inlet valve. So first one is very ineffective, and second one is it's an effective one. So to enhance the flow rate, we are using this. 33rd question. Which one of the following events would reduce the volumetric efficiency of a vertical compression ignition engine? Volumetric efficiency. Volumetric efficiency is a ratio of actual volume to the swept volume. So swept volume is nothing but the volume flow rate of it's based on the engine dimensions. So inlet valve closing before the bottom dead center is the suction. During suction, inlet valve, if it's closing before we attain the bottom dead center, there will be less airflow intake. Volume flow of air will be less. Thereby, volumetric efficiency will be reduced in a vertical compression ignition engine. So option B is correct. 34th one. If the performance of diesel engine of different sizes, cylinder dimensions, and power ratings are to be compared, which one of the following parameters can be compared? It's only brake thermal efficiency. Where is it, sir? Sir, 36 answers are
36, sir?
36 ones, sir. Only brake thermal efficiency. So more. Sorry, 34 ones, sir. 34.
34,
34 option. 34. Only brake specific fuel consumption does not depend on size and dimensions of the cylinder, because for different sizes, again the swept volume changes. Swept volume is like that. It's a pi by 4 d square L, the volume of the cylinder, pi by 4 d square L into speed of the swept volume. So it depends on the cylinder size and dimensions of the cylinder. Air fuel ratio also, and volumetric efficiency is also depends on swept volume. So these three options mostly depend on the different sizes, dimensions of the cylinder. So only specific brake fuel consumption does not depend on size and size of the cylinder. So option C is correct. When you are comparing two different engines, you should look for specific brake fuel consumption. And coming to 35 question. In the operation of 4-stroke diesel engines, the term squish is referred to. It's the entry of fuel into the combustion chamber. Squirrel and squish, we have different inlet processes for 4-stroke diesel engines. Air is supplied to the diesel engine to this different methods. So it's on the entry of the air into the combustion chamber. So option C is correct. 36th one. At the time of starting, idling, and low speed operation, the carburetor supplies a mixture which can be termed as. See, in SI engines, generally the air and the fuel are thoroughly mixed in the carburetor. We have a homogeneous mixture. So for starting and idling and for low speed, we have to supply rich mixture, so that the engine does not get stopped. So we should have a slightly higher stoichiometric ratio, equivalence ratio. So it should be slightly more than stoichiometric. So it's a rich mixture during starting and during idling and low speed also. The essential function of the carburetor and spark ignition engine is to. So option A, as I said, meter the fuel into the airstream and amount dedicated by the load and speed. So 38th question. Compensating jet in a carburetor supplies almost constant amount of fuel at all speeds. Sir, once options is not visible. One scroll. Yeah. So compensating jet in a carburetor supplies almost constant amount of fuel at all speeds. Because option A is the jet area is automatically vary depending on the section. B, the flow from the main jet is diverted to the compensating jet with increase in speed. So option B is correct. As the flow area increases, the level in the fuel well decreases, thus reducing the supply to the compensating jet. Tends to lean as main jet tends towards its jets. Right, I have given some explanation down. Where does mixing of fuel and air take place in the diesel engine? In case of diesel engine, fuel is directly injected into the engine cylinder. Air is supplied to intake post. Whereas for SI engines, it's in the carburetor. So option C is correct, in the engine cylinder. Coming to 40. In a petrol engine car, which of the following performance characteristic is affected by the front end volatility gasoline used? See, there are three types: front end volatility, mid range, and tail end. For front end, cold starting, hot starting, and vapor lock. And for mid range, it's engine warm up, acceleration, short and large trip economy, carburetor ising. Tail end volatility is because of crankcase dilution and spark plug fouling evaporation losses. So option A is correct. Front end volatility, it's cold starting, hot starting, and vapor lock. For a heat engine working on an air standard diesel cycle, the efficiency will. So the efficiency of diesel cycle depends on compression ratio and cutoff ratio. So when cutoff ratio is increased, its efficiency will decrease. Whereas compression ratio increases, efficiency increases. So only decreases as a cutoff ratio increases. And as before question was there, if cutoff ratio is increased, pressure increases, mean effective pressure increases. But for thermal efficiency, it will decrease in case of diesel engines. For the same compression ratio, the efficiency of an air standard cycle, Otto cycle, is more than the efficiency of air standard diesel cycle. If you look at again same for compression ratio means, if you look at the PV diagram, for an Otto cycle, we have first isentropic compression, then constant volume heat addition, then isentropic this expansion, then constant volume. So in diesel cycle, only the process 2 to 3. Instead of constant pressure, it will be constant volume. So when you look at for compression ratio, the Otto cycle will be higher than diesel cycle efficiency. Sir,
43.
Question number
43.
Oh, okay. 42 is over. 43. Consider the following statements. Both Otto and diesel cycle are special cases of dual cycle combustion. Yes. Then combustion process in IC engines is neither fully constant volume nor fully constant pressure process. And yes, because if you see the actual real cycle, and combustion process in ideal cycle is replaced by heat addition from internal source in closed cycles. Exhaust process is replaced by heat rejection in ideal cycle. All are correct. In SI engines for higher thermal efficiency. Sir, options are not visible, sir. So somewhat.
Start going. Last page, you know.
Last question, sir. Okay, not good. In SI engines for higher thermal efficiency, because SI engine efficiency is 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. R is compression ratio. So when compression ratio is high, there will thermal efficiency will be high. So option A is correct.
Okay, students, any questions? Hello?
Sir.
Hello? Any questions?
No, sir, no.
Okay, tomorrow evening we'll give the results. Okay?
Okay.
Tomorrow we have 8:30 class or 8 o'clock class? Karthik? Hello? Hello?
I will let you know, sir.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, we will close the meeting now. Because we have another, HB is having another class now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.